Ethiopians. And many of them did not convert, and many was murdered because they did not want to convert and become Christians.
No one is certain how Beta Yisrael came to inhabit northeastern Africa.
When Solomon's temple in Jerusalem was destroyed, the Jews were exiled, dispersed in all directions. We never forgot what was written in the Torah. We kept on praying to return. We have no written history, but our forefathers say we came to Ethiopia through Egypt and the Sudan to the Gandhar region.
We were born a Jew and we will be forever Jew. And so today I am not trying to find where is my origin.
The point is, we came to Ethiopia and our forefathers fought to remain Jewish, and they passed down their tradition to us.
Beta Yisrael were isolated from the outside world, convinced they were the last Jews on earth. While the Jews of medieval Europe were persecuted and herded into ghettos, Beta Yisrael enjoyed independence with their own rulers and army. Some 500 years ago, tragedy struck. Ethiopia's Christian emperor Ishaq dealt rebellious Jews a crushing military defeat. He demanded they convert to Christianity or lose the right to own land. Ultimately, most Jews were forced off their land. They were forced into new professions. They became pottery makers, weavers, blacksmiths, resented yet necessary. To their Christian neighbors, this world of fire and hot iron seemed like black magic. Persecuted, regarded with suspicion, the Jews were labeled falashas. The word means wanderers, landless.
I don't like to be called falasha. It means you're a foreigner. Go away from here. When they called me falasha, I was very hurt.
Falasha is an obscenity. They had no respect for us.
As it had for Jews elsewhere, adversity hardened their will. Religious leaders established strict rules of conduct to insulate the Jews from their Christian neighbors.
Our forefathers erected a barrier. It was forbidden to enter the house of a Christian, to eat with a Christian, to drink the water of a Christian. Because of this, we survived.
The Torah, handwritten on goatskin in the ancient Gez tongue and known as the Orit, was at the heart of Ethiopian Jewish life. The Mishnah, Talmud, and other later commentaries were unknown. The Sabbath and other holidays mentioned in the Torah were strictly observed.
On Friday, we bathed. On Saturday, we prayed in the synagogue. We all wore clean white clothes. On Shabbat in Ethiopia, no one cooked or lit fires. It was a day of rest. We went according to the Torah. What was written in the Torah was what we did.
For that reason, the Passover Seder and holidays like Lag BaOmer, Hanukkah, and Purim that came into being after the destruction of the Second Temple were foreign. The Sigd was unique to Beta Yisrael, a time of prayer and fasting, renewing the ancient covenant forged between God and Moses at Mount Sinai. On this day, the Jews of Ethiopia dared to dream of Jerusalem, of returning to their holy city.
My grandfather would gather all the children and tell them about the land of Israel, about the Jews. I understood I was a part of the people of Israel.
there was a bird. She was a very beautiful bird, and we thought that she came from Jerusalem. So we dreamed a lot to come to Jerusalem, and we were imagined that Jerusalem is a golden area. Even the building is golden, the road is golden, everything is golden.
It would take more than 1,000 years of unwavering belief before the dream came true. The Jewish world knew almost nothing of Beta Israel. Over the centuries, scattered reports told of Jewish tribes living beyond the mythical Sambatyon River, of a remote African land inhabited by the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Around 1775, Scottish explorer James Bruce reported the existence of Jews in Ethiopia. In the mid-19th century, French researcher Antoine Dabadie reported meeting Torah-observant black Jews. But real contact came only in 1867, when the French Kol Yisrael Haverim organization sent Professor Yosef Halevi to investigate Jewish life in Ethiopia.
God of life, of righteousness and justice. Always in their thoughts, he inspires them with hope in a future of universal peace and harmony. In praying, they raise their souls to the infinite. They ask God to make Zion resplendent and to bring them back to Israel, their cherished country. The Keses are the Ethiopian Jewish holy men. They take the responsibility for preserving and transmitting the law and traditions of the people from generation to generation. When the famous Jewish scholar Halevi made his epic journey to Ethiopia in the 1860s, he was astounded to find that the Ethiopian Jews had maintained the Jewish lunar calendar precisely throughout the centuries, and that their religious observances coincided exactly with the religious holidays held by Jews around the world. In fact, he discovered an ancient Jewish people strictly observing the tenets of the Torah, the bedrock of the Jewish faith. The people prayed in Ge'ez, an ancient Semitic language now almost extinct, and today only used in religious services. In this rare film clip, the Keses are leading the people in the observance of the Seged, a Jewish Ethiopian holiday that commemorates the works of Ezra.
In 1904, Halevi's student, Yaakov Feitlovich, came to Ethiopia and remained for 2 years, living with, learning about, Beta Yisrael.
When Dr. Feitlovich came to Ethiopia, my father told me he was not recognized by our Kesim. He was not allowed to enter to synagogue because he was white. So I thought all the Jewish people over the world are black people.
Feitlovich returned to Europe with a letter from the Kesim, the Ethiopian religious leaders, saying, "Do not forsake us."
Listen again. He said when this white Jew came down to Ethiopia, he was not allowed to enter into the synagogue because he was white, and that they always was taught that all the Jews or the Israelites were black. Listen again.
Came to Ethiopia, my father told me he was not recognized by our Kesim. He was not allowed to enter to synagogue because he was white. So I thought all the Jewish people over the world are black people.
But it would take until the last decade of the 20th century before those halting first steps became a giant leap to the land of their dreams.
אנו מכריזים בזאת על הקמת מדינה יהודית בארץ ישראל. היא מדינת ישראל.
In 1948, the State of Israel is established. but Israeli acceptance of Ethiopian Jewry is slow in coming. Yaakov Feitlovich works to strengthen Beta Yisrael's ties to the new state. In the mid-1950s, two groups of Ethiopian Jewish youth are brought to Israel where they study Hebrew.
Suddenly, I came into a room and found children from Romania, Poland, America, and I was the only one with a different color. I asked myself, what? Are there white Jews? My parents thought we were the only Jews left in the world. Suddenly, I came into a room and found children from Romania, Poland, America, and I was the only one with a different color. I asked myself, what? Are there white Jews? My parents thought we were the only Jews left in the world. Suddenly, I came into a room and found children from Romania, Poland, America, and I was the only one with a different color. I asked myself, what? Are there white Jews? My parents thought we were the only Jews left in the world.
They always kept their heritage